14 points in one game from our first line. The Seattle Storm Bears are your 2021-2022 Stanley Cup champions. You know what? Let's roll that footage one more time. Put it up there. Let's go ahead and rewatch it. What a beautiful thing. That was such a fun ride to the Stanley Cup playoffs. Such a crazy run. We ended up picking up Ovi, and he had 130 points in the regular season. Unheard of for a player way past his prime. And he had obviously a point per game in the playoffs. 28 points in 24 games. Ended up winning the Conn Smythe. It was just a Cinderella story, and I'm so glad we got to do it. But it's back to work, all right? We got to put our suits on. We had our little fun time with the Cup over the last week and a half. We got to go towards the draft. We got a big re-sign stage coming up, so it's back to business here in Seattle. Let's get started. Before we get into it, I want to give a shout out to Owen, who picked up some merch. Now, those were the first run of shirts. I actually made the logo larger, and I made the names larger as well, so they're kind of small. I believe those are XL shirts, though, so it kind of looks like it's not as large. But anyways, shout out to Owen. Thanks for supporting. If you want some merch, go ahead, link in the description. If you guys have any ideas, let me know. Maybe I'll add like a Stanley Cup shirt for like a limited time. But shout out to Owen. High fives to you forever, buddy. Thank you for the support. So, back to work. Back to the office here. Let's get things started. Now, we're actually a day late. This video was supposed to be up yesterday, but I threw a tweet out and it said I celebrated the Cup win a bit too hard with Ovi, Tyroning, and Agent C, so I'm feeling a bit under the weather. Storm Bears video tomorrow. Ovi knows how to party, and I needed to take an extra day, so we're here. Sorry for the delay in the videos. I was just enjoying the Stanley Cup. It's an unbelievable feeling to win the Stanley Cup, and I wanted to soak in every last bit of it. That Ovechkin, crazy Russian, knows how to party. Now, we got some comments to go over. We got a few of them here. So the first one, we're going to bang these out really quickly, comes from Matteo, I don't know what your name is. He says, just going to point out that the best coach in the league, John Scott, now has a Stanley Cup ring. There you go. Didn't get it as a player, but he got it as a coach. That's awesome. AOC Gaming says, this franchise mode is the best I've seen by far. Thank you very much. I'm glad you're enjoying it. He also says, Ovi got his ring and a Conn Smythe. Amazing. Yes, that was amazing. I was actually surprised that Ovi won the Conn Smythe because usually it goes to the goalie, but with what he had, like 28 points in 24 games, 130 points in the regular season, it was hard not to give it to this guy. He's 36 years old, but look at his stats. They're still going up. This guy's a beauty. He is now officially a Storm Bears legend, Alex Ovechkin. Next comment here comes from Lightning King 201. He says, hey X-Tech, tips for the re-sign stage. Sign Corey, Mac, Kachuk for 1-year deals, and then on July 1st you can extend their contracts using extension money, not cap money. Also re-sign Ovi, he's a beast. Now let's talk about this little extension because I haven't really messed around with extensions that much. Now when you say extension money, I don't know how the whole thing works. Like I can offer Ovi a contract right now, so if I give him, what does he want? 7.3, he actually wants a 2-year deal, so he's maybe sticking around a little bit, but I'm kind of concerned he's going to drop to like 86 overall and be paid 7.3. That's kind of a concern that I have. But if we use this quote-unquote extension money, because it says extension dollars remaining 38 million, does that not mean it kicks in until next year, or does it not count towards our cap? Honestly, I haven't really dealt with extensions too much. I usually just deal with it in the re-sign stage. So what I'm going to do is get the 3 big guns re-signed, all right? I'm going to offer them contract extensions, and then on when it comes past the draft, when we got to actually start re-signing players, I can see what kind of extra money we have laying around, because we got to re-sign Ovi, Agent C, Big Mac, Brady Tkachuk, Josh Morrissey, Pierlini, Dell, Dvorak, Sanheim, Ronning, Rodney, McInnes, all these guys in the AHL, so we got some money to spend. But first things first, I want to give a contract to my man, straight out of camp, Ty Ronning, 8 years at $1.9 million. He's going to be here for the entirety of the franchise mode on the 4th line. There you go. I'm going to discuss this extension with my friends and family. I'll get back to you soon. I don't know why it shows the Arizona logo. Kind of silly. But so I'm going to give our 4 main guys, all right? I'm putting Ty Ronning in our 4 main. We got Brady Tkachuk, Agent C, and Big Mac. So what does Agent C want? 9.5 for 4 years. Can we go 9 million for 4 years? Let's just try it out, all right? See how this kind of extension deal works. 9 million for 4 years. There you go. Big Mac. I'll pretty much give Big Mac whatever he wants. That's a pretty decent contract. We'll go 7.3 for 3 years. I like that. And then Brady Tkachuk. I hope he doesn't want more than like 6.5. 6.2. Okay, 6.2 for 3 years. You really got to prove it to me, man. How about a 1-year deal at $6 million bucks? All right, we're going 1 year. I need you to prove to me you can be a legitimate second liner because you haven't quite yet. So hopefully you can come through big here. So if I sign those guys, does it not go towards my cap for the re-sign stage? Honestly, I'm not sure how it works. I'm not very educated in the extensions. Such a rookie move. It's by far my most played mode in the NHL franchise. I should know that. Storm Bears Polls put out a poll on Twitter, which you should go follow at Storm Bears Polls. He says, what should the Storm Bears do with the aging Alex Ovechkin? 235 votes later, and 60% of you guys say re-sign him. So I think it's pretty unanimous. He should be re-signed. Now, one last comment here comes from Zimos. He says, it's like a 3-hour drive from Vancouver to Seattle. In the last video, I said it's going to be a 1-hour drive from Vancouver to Seattle. What you guys don't know is the Storm Bears drive a tricked out bus with powered by two, not one, but two 1996 Toyota Supra 2JZ engines, twin turbo. It's the engine that's in the Supra, so we're flying. The drive was 1 hour. Don't worry about it. It was 1 hour. Okay, so Agent C said yes to $9 million bucks. Big Mac said yes to 7, and Brady Tkachuk said yes to a 1-year deal. And Ty Ronning is here for 8 years. He's got that job security. I love it. Makes the team out of camp, and he's like, you know, I'm gonna be a bottom 6 guy. I gotta realistically think about my future. I'm 24 years old. I just had a Stanley Cup win. Let's go out. Let's get as much money as I can over the course of 8 years. He's gonna be set. You're gonna be set, Ty Ronning. There you go. And there's going to be endorsement deals for you. You got a bright future, Ty. Thank you for re-signing. So let's see what the draft lottery is looking like, and then we can pretty much hop into things. So Washington obviously had the worst record by far, and I'm glad they got the first overall pick. So they get rid of Ovi, they tank and get the first overall pick. Hopefully there's a franchise guy in there for the Washington Capitals. Now have a look at everyone who called it quits. Looks like the old men all flocked to Toronto. Kind of the Toronto mentality back in like the 90s, early 2000s, getting players like Eric Lindros, Ed Balfour, kind of the old guys. They got 2 of them, Marian Hossa and Joe Thornton. It's kind of funny. Patrick Marleau, Daniel Sedin, Brent Burns called it quits. Only 37, but 91 overall? Really? Okay, interesting. I mean, like Mikko Koivu had a right to retire. 39, AHL top 6. But Brent Burns, how many points did he have this year? Brent Burns had 75 points. Why are you retiring, dude? Why? Daniel Sedin, for sure, he needs to retire. But I mean, 4 years left to add $8 million bucks. Like, what? That makes no sense to me. Poor San Jose. Louis Eriksson stays his entire career in Vancouver. That's hilarious. Plays out his $6 million contract. Attaboy, Louis. And that's everyone. How about Tendies? I don't even know who's left. Like, Roberto Luongo? No, I guess Luongo's still playing. So Henrik Lundqvist plays till he's 40, plays his entire career in the Big Apple. Cam Ward, Craig Anderson, Mike Smith, Jimmy Howard. This poor guy, UC Rhinus, had 5 games played, but 2 losses. I guess he got yanked in the other 3 games. That sucks, buddy. Leland Irving, Calgary Flames legend. First round pick, and he ended up playing 13 career games. That's unfortunate. Now, in addition to the Conn Smythe and the Stanley Cup, and the Rocket Richard, and the Art Ross, actually, let's see what other hardware Alexander Ovechkin took home. So there it is, Stanley Cup. That's beautiful. Presidents went to Colorado because we ended up beating them out in the Western Conference Final to move on to the Stanley Cup from a huge goal from Josh Morrissey. Clarence went to us, obviously, and then the Tampa Bay Lightning. For the 2nd year in a row, they made the Stanley Cup Finals, and they lost. Man, that's so unfortunate. They lost against who? They lost against Dallas. Ouch, that sucks. Okay, team awards. Art Ross went to Ovi. Hart went to Ovi. Norris went to Ovi. No, the Norris went to Tyson Barrie. Lady Bing went to Jonathan Drouin. Ted Williams, or is Tim or Ted? I'm not sure. He wins the Calder. Conn Smythe goes to Ovechkin. Vezina goes to Vasilevsky for the 4th time in 5 years. Same thing with the William M. Jennings. The Bill Masterton goes to this guy. Frank J. Selke goes to Kopitar for the 100th time. Ted Lindsay went to Ovi. That's right. Agent C won the Rocket Richard, and Ovi won the Art Ross. So, yeah, lots of hardware being taken home there from Alexander Ovechkin. That's awesome. What a year for Ovi. Seriously, what a year. So this is going to be a boring draft because we have essentially no draft picks. We don't really have anything because we traded everything to get Zakhanov, and I'm not really interested in making any moves. I mean, it just all depends on the re-sign stage. I don't think we have a pick to like the 4th round, to be honest with you, and it's right there. I'm pretty sure we don't got a pick to like the 4th round. And you can see no 3rd, no 2nd, I don't think. I'm pretty sure anyways. Yeah, no 2nd, and I know we have no 1st. So, yeah, it's going to be a very quiet draft from us, but that's all right. We have picks for next year. We just won a Stanley Cup, all right? So it's not ideal, obviously. I would like to get some picks, but we'll see. So it looks like they got a medium elite 73 overall for the first overall selection. Not super great. 61 overall. Ouch. A very weak draft. Wow, that sucks. 56, high top 6. That sucks. 71, London. Yeah, this is all bad. 72. Ouch. This is a very weak draft. That's the worst for Washington. That's so unfortunate. I'll see if there's any like late first round steals here, but I don't think so. That's unfortunate. So let's go all the way to the 4th round here. Alex Martinez for a 2nd and a 3rd. No, thank you. I want to keep my picks for the future. Not happening. That is a steal in the 2nd round by the New York Rangers. 76 overall, medium top 4. So I just found the best player in the entire draft, and he was a very late pick here. So you're going to see it in a few selections. Dallas gets an 83 overall left wing sniper. Semenov. That's like a Pope kind of situation, but he's better than Pope. It's a pretty quiet draft, honestly. I don't think anything's too crazy. I mean, I don't even know what I need here in like the 4th round. It's kind of just a crapshoot, right? Kevin Stoll, sure, whatever. But I don't think we're going to get anything here. What do we get? 59 overall. It's not terrible. I mean, could have been worse. This draft is pretty much a write-off. I mean, there's a few like 60 overall guys. Nothing super special. I don't think we're going to be hitting anything crazy here. Maybe like a medium elite way down here. That'd be kind of cool. Honestly, like, what do we even need? I just took a centerman, so I don't really want to take a center there. Wouldn't mind taking a defenseman. That's kind of what I want here. Let's go for Richard Malik. Sure, 20 years old, so his overall might be a little bit high since he's 20. Could be like low 60s maybe. Let's see. So we got a 59 overall guy, and then 64. You know what? That's not bad at all. 64, medium top 6. That's pretty good, honestly. That's not that bad at all. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's go with another defenseman here in Ripon. There you go. You are a... I don't know, I'd love to get like a medium elite here way back. 63 overall. Not bad at all. I mean, I think we're doing pretty okay with the picks we have. A couple of 60 overalls, got a 59. Honestly, though, this draft, like I said, is pretty much a write-off. Not interested in 2 bottom pairing defensemen. No, thank you. Looking for any, like, steals here. Looks like just a really weak draft. These guys, 63 overall, it's not that bad. Low elite, that's pretty decent. But it looks like just a really weak draft, which is kind of good news for us since we have, like, no picks. So we picked a Ripon last time. Let's go with another one. Let's get all of the Ripons. Last time was a defenseman, I think. This one is a forward. What are you looking like? We got the double Ripon action, low top 9, 55. Not bad. We should have our 7th. Yeah, it's the last pick. Oh, we could have got Ovechkin, who's a medium top 6. That'd be hilarious if his name was actually Alex Ovechkin. I have to check now. What is it? Please be Alex. Alexander Ovechkin. Yeah, there it is. That's funny. There you go. Another Alexander Ovechkin. Maybe some like distant cousin or like a nephew or something. Since we have a trend here of picking NHL player last names, let's go with McGillney. Maybe he is a low. Is that low AHL? Yeah, not great. Not as good as Alex McGillney, that is for sure. So let's see if signing those players to an extension was a good idea or what. Let's see here. Maybe the way he said to do it was the better way instead of getting it done right now. So we have 20 million. I think that was kind of exactly what we would have had. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Regardless, we have $20 million to re-sign who? And can I get it done? Got to re-sign Ovi for what? What does he want? 1 year at 8. So I should have signed him before. I could have saved $1 million is what it's kind of telling me. It's a lot of money to pay. That's almost half of our cap right there. And we got to re-sign Josh Morrissey, who wants 5. So let's just round up. That's $15 million. Then I got to get Pierlini. I got to get Sanheim, Dvorak, Rodney, all done for $5 million. Not going to happen. So he wants 4, so we only have another $1 million in change to work with, right? So that's what I mean, man. That's still the exact same thing with Travis Sanheim. So I think, honestly, Josh Morrissey's going to have to walk. I don't want to see it happen, but I'd rather have Pierlini and Dvorak than Josh Morrissey. Morrissey was clutch for us last year. I mean, 14 points isn't great, but in the postseason, he put up some big goals. He was a big piece to us winning the cup. But first things first, I want to get Ovi done here. Now, let's start low, okay? Let's go 7.5. All right, for 1 year. Come on, Ovi. You don't need the money. Let's go for a back-to-back Stanley Cup championship. Come on. Let's go, Ovi. Pierlini, he wants a 2-year deal. Now, the thing is with Pierlini, he's steady. He's really good. He's a 40-point guy on the third line. That's awesome. I don't mind paying Brandon Pierlini whatever he wants. Let's go $4 million even at 2 years. That's fine for me. Christian Dvorak, a really good third-line center. Let's go with a 1-year deal at 3.45. Let's try that out. And then Travis Sanheim, what I'm going to do is I'm going to qualify RFA for him because I don't want to sign him. I would like for him to either get an offer sheet or he gets traded. So we'll have to figure out that. Duke Rodney we're going to give a contract to as well, 1.4 for 1 year. How about 1.125? We've got to save some money here, all right? Everyone took a little bit of a cap hit because we went to go for the Stanley Cup. Now we gotta continue doing that if you guys want to win another one, all right? If you guys want to go back to back, everyone's got to be on board. Aaron Dell, what does he want? 1.6. Honestly, he was so good for us. I do not mind that one bit. Now, with the emergence of Keatley, we kind of have Josh Morrissey as more expendable. I'd love to hang on to him, but I do want to be a player in free agency as well. So we kind of took Ovi over Josh Morrissey. Now, I don't know if that was the right choice or not, but I feel like 130 points. I mean, 60% of you guys wanted me to re-sign Ovi. So I think it's the right move if we can kind of replicate what we just did last year. I'm not saying it's going to be that good. I mean, even if he gets 100 points and we get another Stanley Cup, it's just worth it. So Pierlini's back. That's awesome. Dvorak's back. Aaron Dell's good to go. Ovi says no. He wants a little bit more money. Okay, so all these guys, Ryan McKinnis said no to a 2-way deal. I'm just going to tender qualify him. And then obviously Duke Rodney said no as well. So that's why we call this contract negotiation. Got to go back and forth, bounce some numbers, talk to the accountants. Let's figure something out here. We have $14 million to work with. Let me try 7.8 for 1 year, all right? And then I got to re-sign Ryan McKinnis. I'm just going to qualify him. And then we should be all good to go. I really hope Ovi comes back for 7.8. Because what if there's a stud free agent out there? You know, like what if? There's always that what if, right? And we got 14 million. I mean, we got to think of the future, but you guys want to see Ovi back. I want to see Ovi back as well. Ovi says, no, come on. Duke Rodney's back. That's fine. It's being stingy, man. It's stingy. I see people in the comments say, don't bring Ovi back, and I understand why. You know, I kind of wish he would have retired, and I know that kind of sounds mean, but I kind of wish he would have just called it quits. How about $8 million, Ovi? That's kind of my last offer. I mean, I'm just going back and forth here over $300,000, but I kind of wish he would have retired, you know, went out on top. I get he wants to go for the 2-time Stanley Cup champion. Come on, Ovi. Come on, man. All right, I'll give you your 8.3, all right? But if you don't want that, may have to look at maybe seeing what other options are in free agency, like... You see what I mean? Like, it's a temporary thing. It's a temporary deal getting Alexander Ovechkin. We kind of hinder our process 1 more year if we end up giving him a 1-year deal. So, I don't know. I mean, I see the positives to keeping Ovi. I also see the negatives to keeping Ovi. 8.3, honestly, I don't even know if he'll sign for that. He might want more. So, let's see here. I'm still wary about, yeah, see, he said no. He said no. Okay, all right, so... what can we do? What can we do? I think we're going to have to kiss Josh Morrissey goodbye because our top 4 is already kind of set up, and Morrissey and Sanheim don't really fit. I'd like to keep Sanheim over Josh Morrissey because he's cheaper. Actually, he's not that much cheaper. He's actually more expensive. They're kind of the exact same. So either one I wouldn't mind keeping, but at the same time, our top 4 is going to be OEL, Chychrun, Fabro, and it's going to be Keatley. So there's our top 4. These guys are way too good for a bottom 2 pairing defenseman. So both those guys are probably going to be gonzo. But Ovechkin, what do we do? Do we sign him? What do we do? I don't know. I'm nervous. Do I give him 8.5, or do we just go to free agency and see if there's any other options? If there's not, we'll just re-sign Ovi. We're going to have to pay a little bit more. I mean, I don't know what to do. Say we do sign Ovi for 8.5, all right? That means we have 5.5-ish, give or take, some change, $1 million to work with in free agency, which I need to get one more bottom pairing defenseman. So, do we risk it and not sign Ovi and maybe there's a better option in free agency? Or do we give him the 8.5? Because I think that'll probably get it done. 8.5 for 1 year. So it's going to be my last ditch effort to get Ovi. You guys see I've kind of done everything that I've tried. I've kind of tried everything here. He rejected it. So you know what? I'm going to go straight into free agency. If there's a better option, I'll have a look at it. If not, I'll have to figure something out. So, unfortunately, obviously everyone's upset we didn't sign Ovi. Not to say he's not going to re-sign, but let's see who's out there. So I guess he is kind of the best option. And he wants 7.7 for 2. What are you doing, Ovi? What's going on here? If I can sign him for 8, that would be hilarious. So there's some good players out there, obviously. I have $13 million to work with. Let's look at a bottom pairing defenseman. That's the first thing I kind of want to look at. Shea Theodore's too good. Josh Manson's kind of in the exact same price as Josh Morrissey. I want like a shutdown guy. Someone like a John Merrill. Still $5 million for an 82 overall guy, eh? Why wouldn't you pay the extra $300,000 to get a guy like Josh Morrissey? Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Like Brandon Dillon, that's kind of the guy that I want. But for $4 million, that's expensive. That's expensive for a bottom pairing defenseman. I'd rather just give it to Travis Sanheim, honestly. Ivan Barbashev. Okay, so it looks like we're gonna have to re-sign Ovi, or I guess not re-sign, but try to sign. Either we sign Ovi or we sign Zabinajad, which I don't really think is a great deal for us. Let's sign Ovi, all right, or we go ahead and get a big gun like Rasmus Ristolainen, which I don't really need. It would be nice, don't get me wrong, it would be sick to have Rasmus Ristolainen on our squad, but the thing is, like, we would be okay without Ovi. Like, we would survive, right? We would kind of get by without Alexander Ovechkin. But Ovi's just nice to have. So he's down to a 91 now. That's the thing, right? He's down to a 91. I feel like I'm just going back and forth, kind of talking myself into it, talking myself out of it. Let's go 8.2. All right, if he signs for that, great. If not, I really don't know what to do here. But then again, we waste some time, We could have been spending that money elsewhere on a guy like Rasmus Ristolainen. So, shutdown pairing defenseman, Chris Tanev would be awesome. Chris Tanev is kind of the perfect shutdown guy. If I'm going to go after Chris Tanev, I don't really want him for 4 years. He's much better than Brendan Dillon. I would want a 1-year deal, but I don't think we have the cap space. Again, like Scandella, Alzner, they all want $4 million for all these guys. Basically, any 80 overall defenseman now is going to run you like $3.5 to $4 million. New Jersey GM mode legend, Steven Santini, never scoring goals. Just kidding, 5 goals in the AHL. This guy's a sniper. So I'm going to sign Ekholm here. We're going to either trade Travis Sanheim or deal with it in a couple days here, but I think I'm going to sign Ekholm. He's perfectly fitted for the bottom pair. He's on the tail end of his career, 32 years old. Let's give him a 2-year deal. That's what he seems to want at 3.6. How about a 1-year deal at 3.7? All right, so there you go. How about that? Now, is Ovechkin going to sign? I know he's going to take about a week, which sucks because I would have loved to put that money elsewhere. Jacob Slavin. Okay, now you're offering me a big-time defenseman here. For Zubov, a first and a third. That's actually a lot to pay. Jacob Slavin's obviously pretty good, but doesn't really fit in our top 4. Since our top 4 is already set, but I thought it wasn't really fair to play Travis Sanheim there. I'm hoping he gets an offer sheet. That's going to be at least a first-round pick, which is huge. So I'm hoping he gets an offer sheet. Matthias Ekholm is good. He's ready to go. Duncan Keith, what are you, like 30 overall? 86 overall, 38 years old. Again, doesn't fit into our top 6. Still a really good defenseman. Sorry, our top 4. Still really good, but no thank you, Chicago. No thank you. Come on, Ovi. Do the right thing, buddy. Accepted. There you go. Obviously, everyone's happy about that. We got him for cheaper than what we initially wanted and a 1-year deal, so I don't know how that worked out. We should have some cap left, 3.5. So we have a little bit of money to play with. Let me write down the squad here, and then we're going to get into next year. So we have $3.5 million to work with. I just went ahead and gave all these guys contracts, low elites. Obviously, that's huge. Getting some low elite guys, either for trade value or for potential roster players in the future. There's Ilya Samsonov. He was 84 overall last time he was in free agency. He went to some team, played terrible, went up to an 89. Now he's getting big boy money. There you go. I don't know why a team like Washington wouldn't go out and give Ilya Samsonov a contract. Like, they have, I think Vagetti is their starting goalie, so why not go spend some money? You're just the bottom team. You're the worst team in the league. Why would you not go and get Ilya Samsonov? It would totally turn your team around. Watch him be a free agent in a few months. All right, so we're all good to go. I think I'm going to write down the roster here. Ovi's back. We're said goodbye to Travis Sanheim and Josh Morrissey, but that means Keatley's going to make the jump up now, and we should be ready to go. So unfortunately, we're going to have to say goodbye to a very key member of our Stanley Cup winning team, a recent Seattle Storm Bears legend, and unfortunately, we got to say goodbye to Chris Tierney. Now, it's not a bad thing because it's going to clear up some cap space for us, but we can't really have him on the team next year because we have a new fourth-line center, and that's going to be Nolan Langfeld, who we drafted in 2019. He's going to be ready for the big leagues next year. At least I'm hoping he is. If he's not, we got Zubov, who's definitely going to be ready. He's actually NHL ready right now. So we got to think about something's got to happen here. So unfortunately, I got to move Chris Tierney. He's got his ring. He came here, did exactly what I wanted him to do, and that's fine. I need to get a bottom pairing defenseman because our defense looks like OEL, Chikrin, Keatley, Fabro, Ekholm, and then X. Now we have no one there for X. I need someone kind of a shutdown guy like Nikita Triamkin's not a bad idea. He's what? 71 discipline, defensive awareness isn't that great. 22 points, 19 goals as a defenseman. What? Well, you know, let's go after Nikita Triamkin. He's a big boy. He's 6'7", 268. Let's go ahead and get Nikita Triamkin. We're going to be saving a little over $1 million in cap, and we could probably get something else here, like a pick, which is nice. I like draft picks. Bring on the picks. A second? Can I get a second? Maybe. A second and Nikita Triamkin, or Triamkin, however you want to pronounce it, for Chris Tierney. Let's just try it, all right? Trade rejected. Okay, that's fine. Give me a third. Give me a third for him. I'm sorry, Chris Tierney. I have to let you go. You scored, I think you scored the Stanley Cup game-winning goal, to be honest with you. But good luck in Vancouver. We're going to be seeing you a lot. Trade accepted. There you go. Thank you very much, Vancouver. We made a trade. I'm sorry, Chris Tierney. I'm sorry. I would have loved to keep you. But now our team is all set. We're all ready to go. I'm sure that was a little bit boring for you guys going back and forth and back and forth. So I'm sorry you had to hear me talk to myself. But let's get things started. We'll maybe get a few weeks of simulation done. We'll try things out. I'll test some lines. We'll see what we're looking like. And yeah, we'll see what this roster is looking like going into year number 5. Now, before we deal with all that, we actually got to trade Travis Sanheim. Now, thank you, Sanheim. You were awesome for us for the few years we had you. But all good things must come to an end. Enjoy your time in Washington with former teammate Vagetti, who looks like he's still the starting goalie, actually. They haven't went out and got a goalie in free agency, which just baffles me because they have $32 million in cap space. They could have all the free agents, and they're just like, nah, we'll just tank. We'll run with our star goalie, Vagetti. So there you go. They got Vagetti. Well, hopefully this will go through. I don't know what the deal is with restricted free agents, but I feel like a second and a prospect. Will that go through? Trade rejected. Sweeten it just a touch. Just a touch, you say. I'm going to go ahead here and throw throwing a low top 6 defenseman who we're not going to use. He's like 62 overall. So will that go through? Sweden just a touch. There you go. We got a second and a prospect for Travis Sanheim, which is good. Now that's probably going to be a really good second round pick since Washington sucks and they decide not to go get a franchise goalie in free agency, even though you have $32 million in cap space. What are you doing? Let's have a look at the captains. It looks like Ovi changed his number again. He went from 12 to 10. He's changing it every year. I don't know what he's doing. But here's everyone you're looking at here. So it looks like Strome and Keller still have the A's on their sweater and OEL with the captaincy. Is there a problem with that? I don't think so, but eventually you're going to see Agent C potentially wearing the C. We'll have to think about that in the future, but I think we're all ready to go. Get ready for year number 5. So we're ready to go in year number 5. I'm not going to check out the roster quite yet. I want to have a look around the NHL at some former players and kind of see if Washington did sign a goalie. If not, I'm just going to be scratching my head till the end of time. Are they going to be rolling with Vagetti? I guess so. He's technically, I guess he's technically their best goalie. Oh man, we gotta follow this. This is gonna be so funny. All right, well, hopefully you're gonna do well in Washington, maybe. Now, Chris Tierney, good luck in Vancouver, buddy. I feel greasy about trading you after having a really good year for us. You're a great fourth line center. We're gonna see you a lot in Vancouver, so good luck. Josh Morrissey ended up signing with Drew Doughty and the LA Kings, so we're gonna see him a little bit as well. He's still out of 84. He signed a $5.7 million contract for 4 years. Well deserving. Again, I feel bad we couldn't get the deal done, but I didn't have the cap, and it's really not fair to play him in a bottom 2 pairing. So good luck in LA, Josh Morrissey. Good luck, buddy. Felix Pox up to a 94. The guy that Dallas drafted got to an 85 over the course of the offseason. That's crazy. You're definitely going to have to keep an eye on this guy. Max Domi grew to an 87, so that's awesome for them. I'm glad he's doing well in Columbus. A little while ago, someone asked me about Paul Silas. So here he is at a 90 overall, 22 years old, 6'9", 248, 15 goals, 1 assist. Very weird. He's like a UC Partanen. Speaking of UC Partanen, how's he looking? He's 84 overall, so maybe, just maybe, Dante Fabro is going to be a higher overall. I'd like to see that. And again, he keeps scoring goals and never passing the puck. Interesting. Let's have a look at our lines here. I haven't had a look at them quite yet. So Ovi's still a 90. Clayton Keller went down to a 90. I mean, it's because he's not playing on the first line. Obviously, he had 50 points this year. It kind of sucks, you know, not playing him with players like Strome and Agent C, but I think if we do something like this, it could really work out. Hopefully that does well. Hopefully that line does well. Austin Pope up to an 86. Hopefully he has a big year for me. Look at his skating. Oh my God. He's got all the pieces. He just has to put them together. Defensive awareness at a 92, stick checking 94. This guy's a beast. So it looks like we got a new fourth liner on the team, Noel. He's a big power forward, 6'5", 221. He's a big boy. Yeah, we're going to play him, it looks like. I don't know how we got him. Do we get him in the Tampa Bay trade? I don't remember. Maybe, potentially. Can you guys let me know how we got this guy? Or was he involved in the Arizona organization before? I'm honestly not sure how we came up with this guy, but he grew to an 80, so it looks like Duke Rodney got the kick off the team. We got Nolan Langfeld, who's 6'4", so we got some big guys on this team. Listed as a fourth liner, so we have to play him there. Defensive awareness at a 90 already. That's awesome. Maybe a future third liner for us. We'll see. Ty Ronning, you guys know all about. He doesn't even need an introduction. He doesn't need anything. You guys know all about that. We'll probably get a week or two done of the simulation just to have a look. But that's how everything's looking on defense. Think we're good to go. It's almost right to maybe do this or do that. Or sorry, no, do something like this. Maybe we'll alternate. We'll go Fabro here, Keatley here. We'll change it up, all right? Let's just see. I know Chikrin's a lot better on the defensive side where OEL is very offensively minded. So maybe spreading that out won't be the worst thing ever. And then Big Mac. Frank Mack, the Brazilian butterfly McKenzie. There you go. He's getting the starting minutes with Aaron Dell as the backup. I love Aaron Dell. I think that's a great fit for our squad. And then here is the AHL. We are all good, ready to go. So we traded Tierney. We traded Travis Sanheim. We got some new look players on our squad. Let's get 1 month of simulation done, all right? Let's just get October done. So we'll go 1 month here. We'll go up until November 1st against the Blue Jackets. There's 2 games I want to slow sim, I guess 3 with game number 1. It's going to be Chicago, Tampa Bay rematch of the Stanley Cup Final, and then Ottawa. We got Keatley versus Philip Grubauer, former Seattle Storm Bears legend Philip Grubauer. Let's go here. Game number 1 of year number 5. The dynasty begins. Can we start it off on a good note? First period, 2-1. Zakhanov and Agent C. There you go. Logan Couture on Big Mac. Period number 2. All right, they tie it up. Alex DeBrincat going into the third. Oh my God, 6-5. We lose. Oh no. Agent C gets a hat trick. Keller gets 1, but Brendan Don't Be Sod 20 scores with 2.5 minutes left to give them the advantage. And that was a wild one. We dropped game number 1, unfortunately. That sucks. That's one you really don't want to lose, especially on opening night. I'm glad it wasn't in front of our home fans. And another loss, 0-2 to start off the year. We're at home, and we got a big victory there. Another home game against the Leafs, who are 4-0-1, and we lose. But a big win there against the big win against the game I wanted to simulate, which I forgot to do, so that's my fault. Now we get to simulate this one here against Tampa Bay. So they're 5-1-1, and we're 2-1-1. So can we get some wins under our belt here early on? First period, 2-0. Agent C and Clayton Keller. Period number 2. All right, another goal from Alex Ovechkin. There you go. They drafted an Alex Ovechkin in this year's draft in the 7th round. Going into the third, and he gets the shutout. Big Mac. Tampa Bay has nightmares of Big Mac, stoning them in the playoffs, absolutely robbing them, hoisting the Stanley Cup over our heads. I'm sorry, Tampa. I'm sorry, guys. Another loss. We'll have to keep track of that as well. We'll slow sim a few more games here just for fun, but I'd like to have a winning record. That's another big win, 5-2, and another 2-0 win, so that's 2 shutouts in our last 3 games. 4th for a 5th. No, not interested. Let's slow sim the game against the Peg, up against the Winnipeg Jets. Our AHL team is 6-1-2, so that's good to see. First period. All right, 2-1. Brandon Piolini, Nikolai Ehlers, and Patrick Laine. Nikolai Ehlers from before the red line. What are you doing? Going into the second, they're up by 1. Zakhanov and Vasalainen. We tie it up. Agent C. There's only 3 things promised in life: death, taxes, and a goal by Agent C. There you go. Going into overtime, going into a shootout, and we get the victory in the shootout. OVNOEL in the shootout, and we win. That's good news. I like winning hockey games. It's one of my favorite pastime activities is winning hockey games. So that is a 5-game winning streak. Can we make it 6 to end off the year? PK Subban. All right, PK Subban for Nolan Langfeld. Now, this would make our top 6 just nasty. Top 4. I always say top 6. He is still pretty much elite. $5 million, just over $5 million for the next 3 years. Too rich for my blood. Thank you very much, but no thank you. Not happening. Up against the Carolina Hurricanes. Can we go out on a 6-game winning streak? I think we can. I think we can do it on the road in Raleigh, North Carolina. 0-0. Period number 2. 0-0. Going into the third. And, oh shit, tied up by 1. I thought we had the victory there, but OEL and Noah Hannafin, couple of defensemen getting it done. Going into overtime. We're out shooting them by 10. Get your phones out. 1-800-AGENT C. Who's going to call him? Who's got that number dialed? I guess no one. It's going to go into a shootout, and we lose in the shootout. Womp, womp, womp. That's all right. Kind of a boring game there against the against Carolina Hurricanes. Let's go 1 more game. You know what? Actually, let's go 2 more. Let's go 3 more. I always say I want to stop, but let's go 3 more because I want to slow sim the game against Ottawa and Detroit because we got obviously the return of Keatley and Philip Grubauer, and then we got the Felix Pox game. Oh shit! I always forget to slow sim the game against Ottawa. I always go past it. One day, I promise, we'll slow sim a game against Ottawa. I promise. All right, I'm sorry. Let's go here. Felix Pox versus Agent C. Looks like Philip Grubauer got the best of us against Ottawa. Can we end it off on a winning note? The battle of the first and second overall picks in year number 1. First period, 2 goals on the board, and they're both from us. Our first line, once again, probably carrying our team. Strome and Ovi. Ovi from the point, from the opposite side where he usually scores all of his goals. Big shot from the point from Ovi. Going into the second, we're up 4-0. Strome and Ovi get another one, and we make it 6. Strome gets the hat trick. Brady Tkachuk gets another, and Athanasiou breaks the shutout. There you go, Strome with a little bit of a hat trick. Ovi with 5 points. Strome with 5 points. Agent C was like, boys, I don't want to score tonight. I'm all about the assists. You guys go out, have fun. 5 points each from Ovi and Strome. 14 points in one game from our first line. That is insane. Having a look at our record before we address the elephant in the room. Tied for number 2 in our division with 18 points. Who else are we going to look at here? Tampa Bay, going to be a very good team this year. You could be looking at a Stanley Cup rematch between us two. There's Washington way down there. You guys should have went ahead and got a goalie, putting all your chips on Vegetti. I don't know if that's a good idea, but Agent C with, I don't know, a slow start to the year. It's just kind of taking it day by day. He's got 13 goals in 13 games, 25 points. Ovi's got 22 in 13. Strome's got 21 in 13. Like, it sucks. It is, I mean, it's a great thing. Don't get me wrong. It's awesome. But it sucks that Clayton Keller's kind of getting shafted, you know? It kind of sucks, but I spoke to him. He's okay with it. You know, he's not super happy, but it is what it is. You know, he's a team player. He's got the A on his sweater for a reason, and it's only for one more year. I promise he'll be playing with Strome and Agent C once again. I'm sorry, I feel so bad. But again, after our first line, Brady Tkachuk and Zakhanov, it really drops off. Dante Fabro with 5 points, attaboy. Nikita Tramkin with 2 goals. Pierlini only with 1 in his first 13, 1 point. Interesting. Same with Pope. Okay, maybe the third line. Yeah, third line, something's got to give. I got to change that up. All right, you guys can let me know what to do in the comments for the next video regarding the lines. Having a look at goaltenders, 6-3 and 2-0 for Aaron Dell, who's been so good for us. Now, I think that's all we got to do. I need some help with the lines in the comments for the next video, like I just said. So if you can please help me out, that would be appreciated. I will see you guys in the next one. There's the medium franchise from the Anaheim Ducks, first overall from a few years ago, 10 points in his first 12 games. And I'm pretty sure Agent C is leading the league in scoring. He is. We are 1, 2, and 3. Not a big deal. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.